Hello everyone, TMDK here, and in this video I am attempting a Team Magma challenge in Pokémon Ruby. The team I will be using consists of Mightyena, which comes from a Poochyena. We have Crobat, which comes from a Zubat, which evolves into a Golbat. And as our last team member we have a Camerupt, which comes from a Numel. And together as a Team Magma member we will conquer this game. The rules are plain and simple: no items allowed in battle. Outside of battle we can. HM Lats can be used. These are Pokemon that can learn a lot of HM moves. It will only be used for that purpose. No glitches, hacks and cheats that can help me win the game. And I didn't use any TM or HM moves in this run just to make it that bit harder. With all of that said, let's jump right into it. We start the game with choosing our name. We arrive in a moving van and our adventure begins. We save Professor Birch from a Poochyena with our own Poochyena, and in the lab we give him the nickname Hound. After we do this, we go and find May for our first rival battle. Her Mudkip takes me out the first try because he's a bit stronger than I am, but the next try I managed to take her Mudkip out. Wally needs to catch his Ralts, like in every run on Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald. And after this we come across our first Team Magma member. Another Poochyena against Poochyena fight, and we take him out easily with Tackle. At level 13 our Poochyena learns the move Bite, which becomes crucial in the next gym fight. In Rustboro City we challenge Roxanne at level 14 and too weak to take her Pokemon out, so I decided to get one more level in and then I try again. The Nose Pass takes me out one more time, but after this I take her out. This is just me spamming Bite, Roxanne healing her Judo 2 times, but I managed to feign him, and with the Nose Pass I get very lucky with a flinch and she using Harden, so I take her out as well. Roxanne defeated and the Stone Badge received. I use the opportunity to catch a Zigzagoon, give it the nickname HM Lady. We save Piku from our second Team Magma encounter, another Poochyena fight, and we win easily. We find Mr. Briny again and we sail with his boat to Dewford Town. Here we find a cave, and in this cave is our next team member, Zubat. Zubat is going to become a crucial Pokemon in our team. We catch Zubat and we give him the nickname Matthew. In the end of the cave we deliver some mail to Steven. Before we can challenge Brawly I need just a few more levels into my Pokemon. At level 18 Poochyena evolves into a Mightyena, and after this is just leveling inside the cave, especially Matthew because his level is too low and he doesn't have the right moves yet. I fight Brawly a few times along the way, but his team is just too strong for me at the moment, so I need to keep on leveling. I get a few times very close though, but eventually when Mightyena is 19 and Matthew is 16, I managed to get the job done. Zubat is the key Pokemon in this fight. Fight moves are not very effective against him, so I'm using Supersonic and Ashtonis and Bite. They both do about the same amount of damage, and they have the ability to flinch the opponent. I get matched up a few times very low, but Brawly heals him up, but eventually I manage to take him out. Makuhita is the next Pokemon and the same tactic is in play. Supersonic Bite in this case, I get him very low, but he takes me out with Arm Thrust in the end. He's very low, so Hound comes in and he finishes his arm with one more bite. Brawly is defeated and the Knuckle Badge received. We take the boat to Slateport Town, we enter the museum, and in here we encounter some Team Magma members. We take out their Pokemon easily with just our Matthew. Matthew with Ashtonis and Bite does quite some damage against them, and we take them out easily, both their Zubats and Numels. After this, Maxie comes in and he wants to threaten us a bit, but that doesn't work of course. We come across way on our way up to Mobile City and we get taken out one time by our Marshtomp, but the next try we manage to take her out. Matthew doesn't have the move Wing Attack yet, so Shumish is quite the obstacle. Using Leech Sheet and Stun Powder we get taken out. Hound comes in and he takes out our first two Pokemon easily with Bite. The Marshtomp is quite strong, but I managed to take him out as well with 7 health remaining, so that was a close one, but we managed to defeat May. Matthew learns his wing attack. We get the HM Rock Smash as always, and in front of the third gym we find Wally and defeat his Ralts easily with Bite. We become level 22 and our Matthew evolves into a Golbat, which is very useful for our next gym fight. Before we go into this fight though, we need a few more levels I reckon, because Wattson his team is quite strong with his Magneton and Magnemite both being steel electric type Pokemon, which is harsh for us. We don't have any moves that are effective against them, so I need to level my Pokemon. At level 27, my Diana learns the move Swagger, which is so useful because we can confuse his Pokemon, raise their attack, but they're mostly special attackers, so that helps us a lot. Matthew needs to level up as well, and we try a few times along the way. But you see, Wattson and his team is quite strong, especially Magneton with his Shockwave. At level 28, Matthew learns the move Confuse Ray, which is basically a supersonic with 100% accuracy, so that helps as well. And I need to get my Pokemon to both to level 30 before we can defeat Wattson. And still, this is quite hard. Matthew is up against Magnemite. I want to use him as much as I can. I know he's weak, but I know we need to do something. I use Confusion Ray and Bite, maybe flinch him, but that doesn't work and I get taken out. My Diana, yeah, just go for the Bite on the Magnemite because he's a little bit weaker than Magneton. On Voltorb, just using Bite as well, it does a lot of damage and we take him out. On the Magneton, we need to use Swagger and hope he hurts himself in Confusion, which he does. And then go for Bite. We manage to flinch him, very lucky as well, and we take him out eventually. Yes, we defeated Wattson, Dynamo Badge received. We get our third and last team member, a Numel, and give him the nickname Vulcan. We chase away Team Magma and Team Aqua out of Meteor Falls, and we take the cable lift up Mount Chimney and fight Maxie. Maxie being the leader of Team Magma, he has the same team that we have, but we're a bit higher level than he is, so this should be doable. I'm fighting with Vulcan first, but when I get low, I swap in my Matthew. I want to keep Vulcan to fight against his Camerupt. I take out my Diana easily. I don't want to use Golbat against Golbat, so I swap in Hound and take him out with Bite after Maxie healing his Golbat up. The last Pokemon is a Camerupt. I swap in Vulcan again, hopefully get a Magnitude off. I do. And I get taken out. I'm too low. So Matthew comes in and I finish off camera with Bite easily. Maxie is defeated. Straight to the 4th gym to fight Flannery and their fire types. This fight should certainly be doable. I take out our first 2 Slugmas easily with Vulcan and Magnitude, and I do a lot of damage on the Torkoal, but he takes me out because he's that bulky. I swap in Golbat to use Confusion Ray and Wing Attack, but Torkoal managed to paralyze me with Body Slam. She uses Attract, so I fall in love. I almost can't attack anymore, so yeah, she takes me out eventually. So Hound comes in and I use Bite just to take out Torkoal, but Flannery heals her up. And so this takes a bit longer, so I use Swagger and eventually take her out with Bite. Flannery defeated and we receive the Heat Badge. Back with the boat to Petalburg City to challenge Norman and his normal type Pokemon. I lose one time against him, but the next try I manage to defeat Norman. Vulcan gets taken out easily by Facade, so I swap in Matthew and go for Confusion Ray and Wing Attack. This works effectively and I manage to get slacking low, but Norman heals him up. The next time I get him low, I manage to take him out though. Vigoroth comes in and I use the same tactic, Confusion Ray Wing Attack. I'm very lucky and he hurts itself in Confusion, so I manage to take him out easily. The last slacking is up and I do as much damage as I can, but I get taken out eventually by Feint Attack. Hound comes in to finish the job, but when I get slacking low, Norman heals him up again. Now slacking is only using Focus Punch, so I managed to take him out easily with Bite. Hound becomes level 32, I don't learn him Scary Face, and at the end Golbat evolves into Crobat and we get the Balance Badge. We get the HM Surf from Wally's dad and we learn this to our HM lady Zigzagoon. We defeat some Team Magma members in the research facility on our way up to Fortress City and we take out their Pokemon easily. I take out Numel with Magnitude, my Diana feints my Vulcan, so I swap in my own Diana to take her Diana out. Ironic, isn't it? We have defeated the Team Magma members and saved the researchers. We also come across Mei for another rival battle. well. We take out their Shroomies easily with Ember from Vulcan, and their Numel we take out easily with Magnitude, which is super effective. After 2 Magnitudes we take her out, and the last Pokemon, Marshtomp, is up. He's a tougher opponent and he takes out my Vulcan, so I swap in Hound and we take him out eventually with Bite. After the fight we also receive the HM Fly, which comes in handy. We need the Devon Scope to enter the 6th gym, and in here we find Winona and her flying type Pokemon. I get taken out one time by Altaria and her Earthquake, but the next try I manage to defeat her. I take out Swallow and Pelipper with Matthew and the Confusion Ray Wing Attack tactic. It works effectively, and all I need to do is confuse them and hope they hurt themselves in confusion, and yeah, spam Wing Attack until they faint, which is effective, and we take out their first 2 Pokemon easily. Skarmory comes in, so I swap in Vulcan to use Ember, which is super effective. She knows that as well, and she swaps Altaria in to use Earthquake. So Matthew comes back out, Earthquake doesn't affect him, and I go again for the Confusion Ray Wing Attack tactic. Now, I'm not that lucky in this fight, so she heals up Altaria a couple of times and my Matthew eventually faints, so I swap in Hound and finish the job with Bite. Skarmory is the last Pokemon, and so I swap in Vulcan again to use Ember, and eventually I'll take her out as well. So we have defeated Winona and we received the Feather Badge. I catch a Tropius as a Gem Lady for Fly and Strength. And at level 33 our Numel evolves into a Camerupt. He wants to learn the move Rock Slide and we swap out Takedown. Also, Matthew learns the move Air Cutter. And we find May in front of the Pokemart in Lily Cove City, and we faint a few times against Swallow and Endeavor because that move gets us to the same health she is, and when she's low, we go low as well. I'm starting with Vulcan to use Rock Slide, but as you can see, Endeavor works effectively and I get taken out easily. I'm lucky and I can take her out with Matthew and Air Cutter eventually. Numel comes in and I'm using Air Cutter as well because it has a high crit chance. Maybe we get a crit, but we don't, but we take out Numel with 2 Air Cutters. Shroomies comes in and that's an easy wing attack, super effective. On the Marshtomp I'm a bit more cautious and I'm using Confusion Ray first, but all he does is Takedown, which helps me because that does damage to him as well, and we can take him out easily. We have defeated May. We defeat some Team Magma Grunts on top of Mount Pyre. We chase away Maxie and he takes the wrong orb as always. We receive the right orb, and we also see Maxie steal the submarine from Captain Stern. We later find the submarine in the Team Magma hideout and we're fighting against Admin Tabitha. We take out his Pokemon easily, especially the Numel and the Camerupt with Magnitude, super effective, but the Mighty Anna as well goes down easily with Magnitude and Ember. After this, the submarine leaves the base. The 7th gym is up. Liza and Tate, Solrock and Lunatone. They're strong, level 42, much higher level than I am. I level my Vulcan with a rare candy I got from Zigzagoon. He learns Earthquake, but that doesn't help because they both have Levitate. I try a few more times, I get taken out easily, so I figure out it's best for me to level a bit, and I do this on the sea. The tactic I want to go with is, of course, Bite, super effective. On Hound it does a lot more damage than with Matthew because it's a stab move. Both of these Pokemon also have a move that can confuse the opponent, Confusion Ray and Swagger. Swagger raises the attack, but they're both special attackers, so that doesn't work. So the tactic, as you can see, both using Confusion Ray and Swagger to confuse Solrock and Lunatone. After this is just using Bite, Bite, and Bite again. I focus the Solrock first, no particular reason, just focusing the Solrock, and I get lucky because he hurts itself in confusion and he goes down quickly and first. Now it's only the Lunatone left, so I can focus my attacks on Lunatone. He puts my Hound to sleep though, so that's unfortunate, and Liza and Tate healed him up, and Matthew with Bite alone doesn't do enough damage to take Lunatone out. But after a few more turns, Hound wakes up and takes out Lunatone. Liza, and we get the HM Dive from Steven. I catch a Tentacool as a Chemlad and learn it to move, Surf, and Dive. We find the stolen submarine, enter the Team Magma Cave, and in the end we find Maxie in front of Groudon. His team is the same as my team, only his Pokemon are a bit higher level than I am, so it takes me a few tries, but in the end we managed to take him down. I'm starting with Matthew and go for Confusion Ray and Air Cutter, hoping for a crit. My attack is lowered by Intimidate, so it takes me a while. He confuses me also, so eventually we take him down with 2 health remaining. His Camerupt comes out, so I swap in Vulcan. My Camerupt is faster in some way, so I use Earthquake and take him out one shot. The last Pokemon is Crobat, and yeah, here I go for Rock Slide, super effective, and we take him down after a Super Potion from Maxie. After this, Maxie uses the Blue Orb, Groudon gets angry, everything goes to SHIT, everyone's coming in, it's getting crazy. We're going outside and the sun is shining super bright, as you can see. Steven comes in and he tells me I need to go to Sootopolis City to calm Groudon down. In the cave we find the HM waterfall and we fight Groudon. We don't really have to, but why not? I am fighting with Matthew and I want to keep him confused and just use Air Cutter, and eventually I take him down. It takes me a while because he's a bulky Pokemon and uses Bulk Up, but in the end we manage to take out Groudon and everything settles down. It's time to fight Wallace and his water type Pokemon. He's a strong opponent as always, so I figure out very soon that I need to level my Pokemon a bit to have a fair chance of winning. I level my Pokemon underneath the gym against the trainers here, and I get 1 level in or so on my Pokemon and I try again, but it's still too hard, so I need to level a bit more, and I do this underwater against the Clamperls, the Relicants and the Chinchus until my Pokemon are all level 42, and then I try again. I'm starting with Matthew against Love Disc and I take him out with Confuse Ray and Wing Attack. When he's down, Celio is up, so I'll swap in Vulcan to take him out with 2 Earthquakes. After this I have 2 health remaining, so why not I stay in the fight, and Wishcast takes me out, of course. Matthew comes back in and I go again for Confusion Ray, Air Cutter and Wing Attack. Wishcast is using Amnesia. I don't know why, I am a physical attacker, but okay, and I take him out easily. My low tick is tougher with Ice Beam, but I'm very lucky and my low tick hurts itself in Confusion 3 times and I managed to take him out with a crit. Seeking is the last Pokemon. Confusion Ray again, Wing Attack, but I get confused as well and I get taken out. Now Hound is my last Pokemon. He should be able to finish it, and he does. I use a Sand Attack just to be sure and I take him out with Bite and a crit finishes it. Wallace defeated and we get the Rain Badge. We climb a waterfall, enter Victory Road and face Wally. Wally is a lot stronger now than before and I lose a couple of times against him, but in the end I managed to win. I'm starting with Vulcan and take out Altaria with Rock Slide. Dalcaddy, I'm just using Earthquake. It does enough damage to take her out and I managed to do so. Magneton, that's an easy Earthquake, 1 shot, super effective. Then the next Pokemon, Roselia, I swap in Matthew to take out 1 shot with Wing Attack. The last Pokemon is Gardevoir, so I swap in my Tiana to take him out with Bite. He uses Double Team, so that makes my life hard and I need to use a lot of bites before I manage to take him out. It takes me a lot of times, believe me, but I managed to do it and we have defeated Wally onto the league. First of the Elite Four is Sydney and his Dark type Pokemon. I get taken out easily in the beginning, so I decide to level my Pokemon a bit in Victory Road. At level 45, Vulcan learns the move Eruption, which is a very good fire move when you're at full health. Now I need to level all of my Pokemon a bit till they're at the level that Sydney's Pokemon are, just to give me a fair chance of winning and maybe a chance to defeat the second member of the Elite Four as well. We eventually win though. I'm starting with Vulcan and I want to use Earthquake, but my Diana is giving me a hard time with Sand Attack. I get 1 Eruption off and then Sydney swaps in Sharpedo and takes me out easily with Surf. Now I swap in Matthew and this is where it gets interesting. Sharpedo uses Swagger, which is the worst move he could have used. I snap out of Confusion immediately and now I do so much damage that I take out all of his Pokemon almost 1 shot. I'm going on a rampage and I take everyone out. It's just crazy. The Cacturne and Shiftry go down easily because it's super effective. My Tiana was low already. And Absol, I used Confusion Ray just to make sure, but I take him out as well. It's just that easy. Sydney defeated. Second, the Elite Four is Phoebe and her ghost type Pokemon. I get taken out a few times because her Pokemon are a bit stronger than mine, but in the end we managed to take her down. Hound is the key Pokemon in this fight because Bite is super effective against her ghost type Pokemon. The first Dusclops goes down easy after a Swagger and a few bites. Banette goes down easy as well with Bite after a full restore. And Sableye is dark himself, so I swap in Matthew to take him out so when Bite doesn't work. I take him out easily with Confuse Ray and Wing Attack. The next Banette, so Hound comes back in, Bite again, 2 bites is enough. The next Pokemon and the last Pokemon is the Dusclops at level 51. So I want to try and use my other 2 Pokemon first because my Hound is toxic and I want to keep him for when I really need to. So I try with Matthew and Vulcan to take the Dusclops down. I get him low a few times, but Phoebe keeps healing her up, and yeah, I'm not that lucky and I get taken out easily. So Hound needs to finish it. I use Swagger and I managed to crit him with Bite, very lucky. At level 47 Hound learns Crunch, I swap away Bite, it's a better version, and we have defeated Phoebe. Third of the Elite Four is Glacia and her Ice type Pokemon. I have a very hard time because Water types are effective against my Falcon and Ice type effective against my Matthew. Matthew learns Poison Fang when I level my Pokemon up in Victory Road. They need a lot of levels to get this fight done. All our Pokemon are strong, tanky, do a lot of damage. Ice and water moves, yeah, I have a very hard time. I try a few times along the way, but I get taken out nonetheless. So I need to gain a few more levels, you know the drill, and eventually we do it. I need a strong tactic though. Vulcan needs to take out the Glalis with Rock Slide. The Celios need to go down with Matthew with Confuse Ray and Wing Attack. The Glalie went down easily with Rock Slide, and the 2 Celios I managed to take out with Confuse Ray and Wing Attack like I planned. I'm lucky that they hurt themselves in confusion, that I can take them out easily. The next Glalie is up, so Vulcan needs to do his job, and he does so with Rock Slide. The last Pokemon is Walrein. Now here I want to use Hound and go for a Sand Attack, so that he misses his Blizzard and Sheer Cold, so that makes my life easier. I also Swagger him to make his chance of attacking me as low as possible. And when I get him in this state, it's just me using Crunch and lowering his special defense so that I can take him out easily with Crunch. Even when she heals her up, I do a lot of damage and she goes down. Glacia defeated. Last of the Elite Four is Drake and his Dragon type Pokemon. I lose 1 time, but the next try I managed to defeat him. The first Shelgon goes down with Earthquake easily, and on the Flygons I want to use Matthew and Confuse Ray with Wing Attack. This works effectively and I take out the first Flygon after Drake heals him up. The next Pokemon is an Altaria and I go for the same tactic. Altaria is using Dragon Dance and Takedown to take me out, but I managed to take him out first. Another Flygon is up, Confuse Ray, Wing Attack. I get this Flygon low, Drake heals him up, and then I get taken out because, yeah, I'm low. So Hound comes in and I use Swagger because he uses Dragon Breath, and I take him out with a crit from Crunch. Salamence is the last Pokemon. Now Hound, I want to use Sand Attack to lower Salamance's accuracy, so I can swap in Vulcan and use Rock Slide. This works effectively. Salamence is missing his attacks, and I can take him out easily with Rock Slide. Drake is defeated. Our last opponent of this run is Steven with his Rock and Steel type Pokemon. I have a hard time, especially against the Metagross. All I can do is Earthquake and Crunch from Hound to do some damage. I'm too low of a level, and yeah, this is a tough one. I need to gain a few levels, and around level 62, 63, I managed to do it. I need to come up with a strong and solid tactic though, just to make it work. The first Skarmory I take out with Falcon, with Eruption, super effective, full health, one-shot. The Aggron is also an easy one-shot with Earthquake. Now Metagross is up. I want to confuse him with Matthew and then swap in Falcon again to use Earthquake and hope he hurts himself in confusion. This took me a few tries, but I managed to hit a crit and take out Metagross. Now Claydol is up, so I swap in Hound and use Crunch, which is super effective. Now he uses Light Screen, but I managed to lower his special defense with Crunch, so Light Screen becomes ineffective and I take him out eventually after a full restore. Now the second Pokemon is Credilli. On Credilli, yeah, he's a strong one and I just use a Sand Attack to help me out, lower the accuracy, and then go for Crunch, my strongest stat move. Now he's low enough, so I swap in Vulcan and take him out with Earthquake. The last Pokemon is Armaldo. I stay in and I do a lot of damage with Earthquake, and now Matthew needs to finish him off. Confuse Ray and a Wing Attack one more time and we win. Steven defeated, we are champions, put our Pokemon in the Hall of Fame. We have Camerupt, Hound, and Crobat, and we win. Thanks for watching, guys. Today we did the Team Magma Challenge in Pokémon Ruby and it was a fun and challenging run. I must say Crobat was the MVP of this run with his Confuse Ray, Wing Attack and Air Cutter, which took out a lot of opponents and he was always a key part of my tactics to win. I must say Wattson, Wallace and Glacia were my toughest opponents. They made my life hard and make this a real challenge. I needed to grind for these fights, I needed a good tactic, it was fun. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share with your friends. It really helps me out, guys. The support has been crazy. And this has been TMDK. See you next time.